Hey guys, welcome back to the shop this week. We are going to continue construction on our Howard Hill all bamboo bow. It is measuring out at about 1 1/8 inch of reflex. So we're going to see how much of that we can preserve through the tillering process. But today, guys, we're going to bring this bow home and we'll be shooting her by the end of this episode. So this is first stringing after having had this thing taken apart, and I do have a little bit of just a twinge of twist going on in what would be my lower limb here. I mean, it's in alignment, but the limb is kind of doing this thing. So when we go to take material off, we'll put a little more effort into taking wood off of the side that's not bending. So I need to mark off the side that we're going to be focusing on, which is going to be this side here. So 22 inches, we're reading 45 pounds. Had this pull into 24 inches before the takedown mishap. Encountering some tillering issues, so I'm getting really good bend out here on my upper limb, and my lower limb is just lagging behind. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see that in the positive tiller when I take it back in. Now, man, I mean, my top limb is opening up. You can see it takes a full, whereas on this side, totally open. Getting a little bit of progress here. The lower limb is starting to behave a lot better as far as matching the bend of my upper limb. Let's see here. The positive tiller on here. Let's see here. Lower limb is running like right at 7 inches. Upper limb right at 7 1/4. 7 1/4 fat. It's not even a 1/16 of an inch over that. So we are right back in the ballpark of where we need to be in terms of positive tiller. Had this guy pulling to just over 50 pounds, like 52 pounds at 24 inches last time out, which means we are on the home stretch at this point, and need to now start turning our attention to the alignment of the limbs. So we had a little bit of twisting going on, which I was able to remove out of the bottom limb as a course of removing wood here. So getting that limb straightened out, and then now we need to narrow the tips. All right. So while my top limb, I've talked about how it kind of dog legs off in this one direction. We'll just narrow the one side of the limb here to get it lined back up with the grip, and then take evenly off of both sides on the bottom limb, just to narrow down the tips. So that is the next step in the process here. And then, of course, by virtue of narrowing out here at the extreme tips of the bow, we're going to start getting a little more bend out here into the extremities. that wasn't present before, simply because we are narrowing down the limb, so that is going to encourage some bend. Pull it off here, and that longer upper limb is really making it look like it's flexing more up top, but I am getting pretty good arc of the circle here and here. Maybe just no, I'm doing good here too. So 26 inches. Oh, beautiful. Right at 51 pounds. So we're 1/16 short of 3/8. What does that make it? 5/16 of an inch. Positive tiller on the top. So I mean, at this point we're talking just ever so minor removal on the lower limb to try and get that going. Kind of match up what we've got going on in terms of the strength of the upper limb. And like I said, the alignment is good. We're in the home stretch for sure. And for as long as these limbs bend evenly, we're just going to keep taking it down the tillering tree. So let's see here. Back to 26 inches again. And in order to get the work to manifest over here, I'm going to have to pull a little beyond that 26, pull into 27 here. And go a little beyond at 27 inches for 53 pounds. Still in alignment. This is a good thing. As far as positive tiller is concerned, I am 7 inches on the lower limb and just a 1/16 of an inch over a quarter. So I'm still, it's just hanging in there on the same positive tiller. And I have taken some material off of this lower limb since then. So as I'm not going to take any more, the bend is good. The flex is good. This is one of those things where you do not want to try and affect change where you know you have affected it, but it doesn't necessarily show up. We're going to get back out, run this down to full draw since the bend on the limbs is looking good, and then see where we end up from there. So pulled to 28 inches and we're at 56.5 pounds. We'll call it 56 at 28. I'm sure by the time I'm done sanding it, we'll be a little over that 50 pound mark. Should everything hold, of course. Let's see what our positive tiller looks like here. We're right at 7 inches on this lower limb gap. Oh, right at 7 1/4 on the upper. Yep, 1/4 inch. I hate to chase down like a positive tiller specifically, but in a build like this, it really helps you understand if your limbs are behaving, in similar fashion. The next thing that tells you whether or not you're balanced is when you start shooting. All right, giving this bow about 15-20 minutes to relax, and it's still like dead flat. I mean, it flattens out under the under its own weight. It settles down flat, but it does have some spring getting there. So the tips touch before the grip. So just a hair of reflex left over, at least at this point. And I'm sure that shooting in will probably take what little reflex we have currently out. I'm just looking to get that outer chalky surface removed here. I don't want to do a ton of removal. It's just getting this stuff off and getting down to that real nice golden yellow bamboo. All right, at the conclusion of taking all of the rind off, you can really see got a little bit of remnants of it showing here, and you can work all the way below that if you choose. I'm choosing to leave some of it on, so it might have a little bit of effect with the finish I decide to put on it, so you can see kind of the difference here. Alright, so a little bit of just a hair of shock in the shot there, and I'm starting to pick up on a little bit of misalignment occurring on that top limb, so I got it marked out a little bit up here where to take some more off. But yeah, we're going to start rounding out, taking down these tips a little bit, see if we can't make it a little bit smoother on the shot. The tips on this bow, you can see, have been reduced significantly. They're both like that, with a little bit more to go yet in terms of some mass removal, but it has already had a pretty significant impact on the release. It shoots a lot smoother from a hand shock standpoint, and it made it a lot quieter as well. That slapped a little bit. The peaking and tweaking on this bow is pretty much done. Shoots very well, very damp in the hand. The hand shock is all but eliminated thanks to very narrowed down tips that we've got going on here. Not only does it shoot very smoothly, but is incredibly consistent downrange. So I'm able to get some decent groups, even though I don't have the luxury of a knocking point. Are going to help with the consistency piece on a new bow. But guys, this is pretty much done as far as tillering is concerned, and now it is just a matter of putting the finishing touches on her, and that will be the subject of next week's video. Guys, be sure to join me then. And guys, thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really hope that you enjoyed this build up to this point. I will look forward to seeing you guys next week.